Hello and welcome to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now you've spotted it already, haven't you? Look at that beauty. And we won't be seeing just one gate, we'll be seeing two in this video. This first one is called the Gate of the Dead. What a fantastic name. And the reason it has that name is due to myth and legend, for it is said that only when the monarch died would the procession go through this very gate. The problem with myth and legend is there's absolutely no evidence of that. But it does give it an extra era of mystery, and I don't mind that at all. What we'll be seeing is two gates that enter into the compound, which is Anchor Tom. That area alone covers 9 kilometres. And very recently, I walked these walls all the way round. It took me 2.5 hours, I believe. It is an exceedingly long wall. But these gates is where the detail and the beauty lays. So join me and let's have a closer look. I mean, if you want an ancient site that invokes mystery and wonder, you're going to have to travel an awful long way to beat where I'm standing at current. Let me just zoom in and show you the benevolent face of Buddha that's smiling down upon us. I mean, this is quite simply incredible, isn't it? But let's get a closer look, because we've got elephants to meet and all sorts of things. It really does invoke the imagination, this place, because it was a hub, wasn't it? I mean, this is where you had to come to gain entry to the mighty city. So there'd be a lot of authority here. It would be the beginning of your experience of the city life, I suppose. Because you've come from the countryside where you have a small hut made of palm leaves and you see this colossus as one of the first things. And it's just completely alien. It must have just stunned people. It was like coming from the woods and seeing a spaceship has landed. Elephant. So it's all jolly pretty. I mean, it is built obviously to impress and to be strong. And what I absolutely adore, and I'm going to have to look down at the floor now, are these. Because I've seen this before. I've seen it in Pompeii. This rut here and this rut here, I think it's clearer here, was caused by carts and chariots all those years ago. And in Pompeii you see the same thing. So this is a mark of those ancients, and it shows you how heavy the trade was through this gate, which answers a question which we opened with. If this gate was only to carry out the king when he died, then what are these ruts doing here? They just wouldn't be here, would they? So that already dispels the myth. Right here, my chums, let's now go up onto this wall which surrounds, I think this wall is about 15 kilometres, I believe. I walked it the other day. It's 14 or 15 kilometres, I believe. So this is the actual wall you can climb up onto. You see, look, this is a wall. We're very elevated, you know, we're about 12 feet up. And this is a closer look at that incredible face of Buddha. Now then, am I going to climb up there? I don't know. Let me get a bit closer and see how my braveness holds out. Right, up we go. Right, can you see him? Right, there he is. Just look at that, people. Gosh, I'm glad I climbed up here to show you this. Isn't that just absolutely magnificent? Just before we leave this gate and move on to our second, I'm going to walk away from you because there's something you need to see, and that is the size of this place. Because I'm about to get very, very small. And that's the whole point, you see, because what we've done by going through this gate is we have entered into the mighty empire of the Khmer kings. And we are meant to be small, for we are pretty much insignificant to them and the rule of power. And they want you to know about their strength and who is the boss. And I don't think anything could do any better than gates like this. And here you find us at our second gate, and we have a very similar setup. We have our elephants to the side, and of course Buddha smiling benignly at the 4 cardinal points. Now, as you can see, this is still an active road, so I'm going to have to be a trifle careful. And it is only a quick look round, because I still find it very interesting that this is still very much an active pathway. It has been for years. And even when these temples were reclaimed by the jungle, only to be left for centuries until a very intrepid Frenchman discovered them again, for the outside world that is, it was always being used as a pathway. Now, the reason I've brought you to this gate is, remember on the other one we could climb up. Well, here you don't have a chance, because look at this fortification. This wall is absolutely immense, and it is a wonderful place to walk. I mentioned I went on that long 14-kilometre walk. Well, it's on top of this wall. Do you remember when we climbed up and we looked upon the smiling face of Buddha, and I showed you that shot of the path winding its way into the distance? Well, it's up there. And if this isn't enough to strengthen your city, over here is a moat, and it's a bally large one. So you've got to get over the moat, and you've got to scale this wall. It really is beauty and strength combined like I've never seen before. This is where we end our tour of our 2 lovely gates. Now, this is Victory Gate, as we know, and I want to impress upon you the size again, because, you know, it's about down here, you know, that normal people would be. Now, if I clamber up, oh, golly, go. Clambering's such good fun. Children, it's usually reserved for, but adults don't clamber enough, I feel. Always exciting things with clambering. And hopefully now you can get an idea as to how big this thing is. And those travellers that came certainly went back with tales of how imposing and how strong this city was, and these walls were like messengers, silent messengers in some ways, because the message they sent is, don't mess with us. We have the beauty of the gates, we have the imposing bodyguard type features of the walls. They really are 2 very special places, and if you ever do come here, for goodness sake, do what 99.99% of people don't do, which is walk along the perimeter of this wall. It is a fantastic walk. So until next time, I ask you to like, subscribe and comment, and if at all possible, there's always my Patreon account, which is patreon.com/temples. Even a few coins will help me get further down the road. Already I've covered 15,000 kilometres, and believe me, I've only touched the tip of the iceberg. So until next time, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. Take good care.